Hello dear students, this is Professor Dr. Zia Ahmed, and in today's short video we shall be trying to throw some light on the character and role of Eliza Doolittle in the drama Pygmalion by G.B. Shaw. Why it has become important? Because it is about a young woman who wanted to grow out of her box, means she was represented as the poor class person selling her flowers and trying to become a lady in the flower shop, and the whole process through which she has to go, that is mentioned by Shaw. And this is what propels or forces us to analyze her character in the modern day life in 21st century, when so many challenges have been resolved and still so many challenges are there. We need to see how she is different from Nora, how she is different from other women represented in literature, especially Mrs. Whom we used to call the ox in some lesson of our graduation. And all these things combined together make us understand how and what type of role she plays, which goes to show not only her struggle but her success as well. So let us see how Eliza Doolittle represents herself in this drama. Eliza Doolittle is a Cockney flower girl who aspires to improve her social standing. This is the first most, let us say, the quality of the girl, that she speaks the Cockney dialect of London, which always depends on eating out some of the syllables or the sounds, and as a result, speaking half. For example, in point number 3, if you look at it, says, I am a good girl, I am, and that can be pronounced by her not I as I am, but am. And in the same way, good girl, girl is the word that we can see, but it has been pronounced like girl, and I am. So in that way, she uses especially Cockney dialect, which is particular to the people of England in some part of London, and there they speak in the same way, and most of them belong to the poor class. That is why it is essential to recognize that she is a flower girl, she is from poor class, and she wants to change her lifestyle. Shaw uses her to critique class distinction and social mobility. The second point, we can explain the sense to think that the language or the speaking style, refinement of language, pronunciations all go to determine what is the class of the person. So that is why here also G.B. Shaw tries to give the message and critiques the same thing, same situation which is available, which was available in the society of England at that time. The refiner the pronunciation you have, the higher the class would be. That is the kind of situation. And the same thing is debated in the drama, whether real independence can be obtained by just learning language and by just changing the style of speech. All these things have been debated. So on the one hand is the desire to excel. On the other hand, there is the desire to speak refined language, to become a lady. All these things continue to reflect Eliza Doolittle's independence and resilience. Yes, in that way it becomes a feminist character and feminist approach of the drama as well. Not only this, we need to talk a little bit about her initial stage when she is given entry into the drama. We can see that she comes from lower class, she's got the unrefined speech and the poor manner. And the way she speaks, for example, the next line says, no, then Freddy, look why you're going there. So, Freddy, why are you going there? That's the kind of speech she speaks, and that goes to show that her education is not there. She's not got the kind of good pronunciation or the pronunciation as the educated people might speak, but she's got the strong desire to leave her class and to become important or ladylike person. This goes to show that she is a struggling woman, young woman, and she wants to have the struggle continue till the change comes there in her life. So Eliza's character is like the character of so many girls in our 21st century life also, that women are trying to get education, trying to change their life, their identity, and to try to become independent. That is their right, of course. But how the 21st century poses different types of challenges, the similar type of challenges she had at that time when she was Eliza in that drama. And we need to see how the modern Eliza is gaining the ground in the same way. Though many things have changed with the passage of time, but challenges are the same. So one needs to talk about the challenges of any Eliza who wants to change her class, who wants to work hard, who wants to gain her targets, how many problems can come in her way, especially the problem generated out of language and the identity which changes because of the refinement of language. So one of the biggest challenges is to see how Mr. Higgins, one of the major characters in this novel, Professor Higgins rather, is a professor of phonetics, and Colonel Pickering, both of them try to teach speech and etiquettes to Eliza. So that is why she also becomes ready, and she says that I want to be a lady in a flower shop instead of selling at the corners of Tottenham Court Road. She speaks so in Act 1. That goes to show her journey for self-improvement and to cross the limits, possibly if it is there. These limits try to restrict her, and she wants to go forward. And therefore, she also tries to talk to Mr. Higgins in the sense that he is taking her as a subject, not as a human being. And the same treatment she tries to complain to Mr. Higgins in the end of the drama when she is fully prepared as a lady, although her background goes to reflect herself in her mind that she is the same one, but the change of identity has created new situations for her. Eliza's speech transforms herself. For example, when she receives lessons from Mr. or Professor Higgins, she changes, becomes refined, linguistically refined, and but then she has to make a lot of struggle in order to see what her identity has become. Because the difference between a lady and a flower girl is not how she behaves, but how she is treated. Now, when she was a flower girl, people took her in a different way. When she's become a lady life, people take her still in a different way. So that all depends on people's minds, how they take them, people's behavior, what they show towards such people, such kind of struggling women. So that is why she has to create a new space for her, and that is making her life really very difficult. Shaw argues that class distinction are arbitrary. It means that one's class is not permanent. One can change his or her class and as a result enjoy the new dimensions of the new class, but then identity crisis possibly may also occur. There is a conflict generated because of all this situation. Hagen sees her as a creation, not as an individual. For example, Lisa speaks to him by saying that you have no right to touch me. Lisa asserts her independence, defying patriarchal control. And therefore, the kind of conflict or the struggle between the two types of values that women who want to struggle and gain independence, they have to struggle against the patriarchal control as well. The feminist critics therefore see that when Eliza becomes independent, it is a type of empowerment that she obtains because of her education. So drama not only highlights the kind of struggles the women have to wage, but also the kind of conflict which will come definitely with the patriarchal forces. And in that way, when both of these things collide together, the struggling and determined woman becomes successful, their identity changes, but then they have to struggle with identity also. But all story combined together, it becomes a feminist struggle against the patriarchal, and it works for the empowerment of women as well. Now we can see that what steps are involved there. When she grows into an educated girl, she rejects Higgins' control, first of all, and she decides that she will have her own future. Here she resembles with Nora, but Nora was inserted by her husband, and she didn't expect that. And as a result, love was removed from her mind, and she became independent of the force of love, which was making her slave of her family. But here is something different, that she has gained control of her own life, and she begins to have a new feeling of life, and in that way she decides to become independent. And so she says to Mr. Higgins that instead of marrying you, Mr. Higgins, I shall marry Faraday, a poor boy. I will support him. And therefore her transition is from object to subject. Mr. Higgins took her as an object, and she turned into a subject, human being, making her own choices. And that is why one is here initiating and debate and thinking whether she was really independent or she was still in the process of all that. But whatever the case may be, it is the representation of the struggle of women. And that is why we can apply and see how Marxist view can be applied to this about the barriers which come to her. That Marxist view says that there should be equal opportunity for men and women, but the class distinction in the society or the problems of different sections of the society, they perhaps create some type of problem. The feminist people say that her struggle is a women's struggle, but if she is determined, definitely she's going to gain the ground, and the same happens. And therefore, Shaw's own views are a type of challenge to the social mobility. Eliza's role in the play, you see there is a class struggle. She proves that speech, not birth, define the class. It's very important here to understand that it is the matter of speech, as the drama speaks out, is the type of thing which can show your class, not the birth. So birthright of the class is not there. It's the type of way you speak, you talk to the people and listen to the people. Same is the case with the gender power dynamics also. Here a lot of challenge has been offered to male dominance and has been rejected in a way. And there is a kind of third thing going on in the character and role of Eliza, that she struggles with belonging between two words. One word is our own past word, another word is the word of independence, of learning, and there she has been successful. So that is what the type of self-identity is creating a conflicting situation for her. So she represents all the women of this type who would struggle hard, make a lot of living, and ultimately would like to become independent and change their class also, but then there will be the type of identity crisis also they would be suffering from. We can conclude by thinking that Eliza's transformation is deeper than Higgins' expectation. She evolves beyond social expectations. Eliza is not a doll for Higgins to mold, but a person to reclaim her identity. So we can also close the whole discussion by thinking that this man, Professor Higgins, was not willing to convert her into a lady, and after that, if she becomes independent, he was not willing for that. But he tried to make an experiment, and as a result, when she had gained all confidence, she claimed a different space for her, and Mr. Higgins was not ready to give that space to her. And this is the very thing which happens to 21st century women. So that is why the drama is very much relevant to our women who are struggling and who have to face then the problems which the male or the kind of powerful dominant groups of the society would like to see, that they don't want. They want her to get education. They want her to get manners and etiquettes and everything like that. They want her to earn money also, but when she asserts herself, her will, her identity, or her choices, at that time there are more obstructions in her way. So that is why Eliza struggle is the guideline for the women of 21st century, and it is also the kind of path on which women, if possibly, can walk, what they should expect and what they are going to get out of that. So thank you for watching. Hope to see you in some next video. Possibly if you have understood something or you like it, do not fail to hit the subscribe button and the like button. Thank you for watching.